Hey folks, today is Friday, April 20th, 2018. As usual, it's me, Jake Baldino. I really need a haircut, but there's too much video games right now. There's too much going on and too much to talk about. Let's talk about video game news. The first thing we got to acknowledge is the new Black Ops 4 rumors on the street. Reports are suggesting, and now this is both from Charlie Intel, who gets a lot of Call of Duty stuff right, and it's been corroborated by Kotaku, that big changes are coming to Black Ops 4's overall game, and especially the multiplayer first and foremost, because apparently reports are suggesting that it's going to more emulate Overwatch, where game modes are very focused around objectives and each person having an individual role and having to play that role. Whether it's going to be character classes, we're not quite sure specifically, but that's interesting because it's a shakeup for the Call of Duty multiplayer. But I think the bigger thing, and even if you're not a Call of Duty fan, I think this is very interesting and bigger ramifications, is the rumor suggesting that this Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is going to launch with no single-player campaign whatsoever. Now, me personally, dude, I play the Call of Duty games for the campaign. I like the campaigns. They're fun, quick action movies to play through. You know what you're going to get. But I could have seen the writing on the wall. I think a lot of us could. Some people just don't even play the campaigns. A lot of the majority of people who pick up Call of Duty pick it up for the multiplayer. I do think this really sucks, though, because I always feel like single-player campaigns always have had kind of an uphill battle as of late, at least in certain types of AAA franchises and stuff. I'm not saying everywhere, but still, that's not good. That's a bummer. However, if they are just taking the resources and doubling down and putting that into just multiplayer and zombies, as these reports suggest, that could be interesting. Maybe it'll make for a better and completely new multiplayer experience on the zombie side and the multiplayer side. Who knows? The cynical side of me also wants to think that they're just not putting out a single-player campaign because you can't monetize a single-player campaign as much as you can multiplayer, but I digress. The big question, though, is do you care? We're like 50-50 here on Call of Duty fans who watch this show. Some of you aren't. Some of you don't care. Does this interest you more? Does this make you even less interested? I want to hear from you. But like I did mention, there's a lot of games going on right now. God of War is out. So far, I'm playing it. I really, really enjoy it. The before you buy is going to take a little time. I'm sorry, I can't rush it. I kind of want to get through as much of the game as I can to experience it. But if you are looking for something nice to watch, the creative director Cory Barlog posted a video where he was essentially recording his reactions to when reviews went live. And his reaction to the overwhelming critical consensus of the game is actually kind of cool. It'll put a nice smile on your face, you know? Just I feel like we needed just like a little happy video today. If you want to watch it, the whole thing, I linked it in the description down below, as well as everything else I talk about this week if you're curious. But let's move on. The other big news story this week that has at least been getting people riled up, since we're talking about AAA stuff, we got to talk about EA, who has now publicly addressed that mistakes were made during Battlefront 2 and the whole microtransaction kerfuffle. Kerfuffle? Can I say kerfuffle? No? Everybody's playing God of War. Nobody's even talking to me today. Patrick Soderlund, EA's chief design officer, was just quoted on record saying, "I'd be lying to you if I said that what's happened with Battlefront and what's happened with everything surrounding loot boxes and these things hasn't had an effect on EA as a company and an effect on us as management. We can shy away from it and pretend like it didn't happen, or we can act responsibly and realize that we made some mistakes and try to rectify those mistakes and learn from them." He also went on to talk about how the original intention was to design the game to keep people playing it for longer, extended periods of time, but he said that they went too far and shot themselves in the foot. I want to know how you guys feel about this, because this is a higher up at EA talking about this stuff. Is this just kind of marketing safe face corporate speak, or do you think this is genuine? Call me an overly positive person, but I want to believe what he's saying. But at the end of the day, we have to see action, really. Words are one thing, but actions really prove things. So we'll see what EA does in the future, but it was a huge industry-shaking moment, and I hope somebody has learned. As we always say it here, Battlefront 2 was a really, really important game, just for the sake of what happened with the whole controversy. But in other news, we're finally getting a bit more Shenmue news. This time, it's not involving 3, it's actually around 1 and 2. We're getting new versions of them on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. They're not complete remasters, things are tweaked, they're scaled to fit the screen, controls are actually a bit more modernized. We don't have a release date or a price yet, but I expect that to come soon. Honestly, I have not played these games since they first released, and that's been a really long time. I'm curious to see if they hold up, because they did a lot of innovative things at the time, but now in 2018, it's just normal shit in every video game, so I don't know if Shenmue will stand out enough. I really hope it does. But in some cool and kind of different news, we've got a new video game world record. Guinness World Records has declared EVE Online players with the biggest online game played. Now, the official title for this record is Most Concurrent Players Simultaneously Involved in a Single Multiplayer PvP Video Game Battle. Now, this originally happened in January 2018, but at EVE FanFest just a few days ago, they finally officially gave the award to the creators of EVE. A whopping frickin' 6,142 players played in this gigantic battle called the Siege of 9-4. EVE is a game like that. It's just this magical, crazy game that you don't really hear a lot of in the main news cycle, but there's such a huge fan base there that every once in a while when it pops up, we're blown away by it. Is that the ice cream man? Oh, shit. Now, in some other interesting news that surprised a couple of people, Jason Schreier of Kotaku put out a report detailing some of the stuff behind Mafia 3's developers and the troubles therein, but he also dropped a nugget of information that at 2K in San Francisco, there is also a team working on the next BioShock game. Now, I feel like we've kind of known about this for a while, that 2K was moving forward with the BioShock name and working on something without Ken Levine, and I'm really curious to see what comes of this. I think if it's like a passionate, creative team that has new ideas, that's really cool. As much as I think those games are distinctly Ken Levine, I'm very curious to see what other people could do with this type of game. Who knows? Just think of how hard that is to live up to, though, for that team, though, to create a world and an idea and a concept like Rapture and all the ideas expressed in that, or even in BioShock Infinite. To hit that again, that's really tough. But we'll have to just give him the benefit of the doubt and just wait and see, I guess. But in other news, some pretty interesting news for Dark Souls fans. A clever person has unearthed some interesting kind of deleted scenes and deleted aspects of Dark Souls 3 that, if you are a fan, this might interest you. So online there's this guy Lance McDonald, and he's kind of notorious for creatively diving deep into games and unearthing information. And there's some interesting stuff about Dark Souls involving the boss Pontiff Sulyvahn and him actually being the final boss of the game, not Soul of Cinder. The game was originally intended to end up in Untended Graves, but like a different version of it, an unseen version of it. And if you are into stuff like this, just like nerdy little tidbits of information about what a game could have been, this is pretty interesting. PC Gamer kind of detailed it all, so I linked it in the description. Check it out. But I feel like every week we have to talk about a Battle Royale something, huh? I mean, the newest rumor on the street is that Battlefield 5 and the people at EA are prototyping a Battle Royale mode playable in the new Battlefield 5 engine. Now, according to this rumor, take this all with a grain of salt, but according to this rumor, this is still in the prototyping stage, and it's not going to actually make it in Battlefield 5 when the game releases. It may be an optional download later, or a standalone thing, or they may not even go through with it. Who knows? But again, are you surprised? No. Like I've been saying from the beginning, every big developer is going to try and give their own spin on this Battle Royale mode. Yeah, maybe one for a quick cash grab, but yeah, on the flip side, if you like this game mode, new attempts at it in creative ways are interesting. Because honestly, I mean, if you want to get like this, a Call of Duty Battle Royale doesn't sound that exciting, but a Battlefield one does, with all the vehicles and the parachuting and everything that comes with the craziness of Battlefield. I'd give it a shot, dude. I don't know. Sorry. I know some of you are probably getting sick of that game mode by now. I'm getting there, but I'll try something different. But I'm curious to see what you guys think, because this is a conversation, you know? But moving on, one last thing. God of War, we are taking submissions for glitches. I haven't seen many out there yet, but if you do come across a glitch in the game, record it and submit it to us. There's a link in the description below. That's where you can send it. And then maybe they'll get featured in a video and we'll react to your glitches. Who knows? Also, pretty soon on my other channel, I am going to be giving a copy of the game away. So go over there, check it out, find out how. The channel name is now Jake Baldino, not because video games, so just search Jake Baldino. That's how you can find it. But now we got to do that console giveaway we do every single week. You know how it works by now. There's a link in the description. You click it to sign up, you enter once, then you're entered for good. And then every single week we go in and randomly choose one person to win a free console of their choice. And this week's winner is gonna be... Hey Tom.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey.
I miss you.
Miss you too.
This is the winner right here. Congratulations. Be sure to keep an eye on your inbox or spam box, stuff like that, because we're going to be getting in touch with you, figuring out how we can send you your console. But that's it this week. How you guys feeling on this stuff? And number one, Call of Duty, Black Ops. How do you feel about those changes? Are you going to miss the single player? Are you weird like me and you kind of only play those games for the single player? Do you think the changes to multiplayer will be enough? Also, I'm curious to see if any of you guys out there actually play EVE Online. Are any of you fans? If you're not, what's your favorite video game world record? There's a lot of them out there, so let's talk. Do you think EA is really, really sorry? How do you think their next game is going to turn out? Do you think they're going to try and go back to the drawing board on microtransactions, or do you think they're full of shit? And BioShock, a new BioShock. What could that possibly be like? I kind of want to hear if you have an idea, if you have a pitch. Leave it in the comments. I'll be down there talking to you guys, as always, as much as I can. And if you have anything else for me, hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Jake Baldino as well. But thank you guys for coming around every single week. We have a lot more videos to make. We have God of War, we have Nintendo Labo, so we're going to go. But clicking the like button does help us out. We really do appreciate it. And if you're new, by now, you should subscribe because we put out this stuff every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Pizza's on me.